Right, hello everyone, this is the 8th Newcomer Tournament, Group C, Round 3. We have Shell, Blip, Peasant, and Icewind. I'm Trat, and joining me for the cast is Roy.
Hello. Okay, we are still on Mars. We have a glass colony, but the glass price is low right now. We have high iron and high aluminum price and low steel price. So early steel faction can go fast to the HQ too. What do you think about this map?
Oh, this map is terrible, isn't it? There is a very interesting place south of the colony, where you can put pretty much any HQ. But other than that, it looks pretty hard. So
I think it's also okay to put a scientific on the northern side where the iron and ice is.
yeah, that's a good fun too. Well, yeah, there's not a lot of carbon or silicon there, but at least you have the ice to... Yeah, where Peasant found. I really like his found. As a third found. So now Shell is in a really tough spot. I don't know where you would found this fourth. Maybe a robot on the ice? Somehow?
Maybe a scavenger on high and medium, like where Shell has found it.
Yeah, I like that. The issue here is lack of aluminum. As you said, aluminum started high, and there's none for him.
That said, Icewind has gone harder into aluminum, so they might be selling down. So it might alleviate the stress of getting enough aluminum for Shell.
Yeah. So I think I really... Wait. Oh, he didn't get any iron. I like Icewind's found, but he couldn't claim the iron in time because Blip found it on the iron. So actually, Icewind is in a pretty precarious position too.
That said, we have core samples available, so if they can get over the initial hump of getting HQ up and starting the production, they can afford it, I think. But this geotherm will not help with that.
Oh, yeah, this is a bit awkward when you can't produce steel. Because it will cost you a lot of steel, we'll see.
Yeah, right now it is the opportunity when the steel is cheap for Icewind to race before steel becomes expensive.
Yeah. And we see Shell went for one of the low aluminums. He could also go for a core sample though. He could do it adjacent and try and get a medium or high. Because I think one low aluminum is a bit too little as a scavenger. You want more than that.
I don't like these water pump claims from Shell. First, because the water price is very low, and double water is not. It is too much for this point of the game. I would rather see one pump and 2 farms, or maybe one solar condenser and 2 farms, or something like that.
Yeah. I think one of the main issues here is that there are nukes on the market, and this one isn't on ice. So if this gets nuked, it's pretty useless. I guess you could place a wind turbine there. So I take that back. It's not...
That's... Yeah, and one of the tile is already on ice, so that's a little less of a problem.
Yeah, I overreacted. Alright, so he's going into farms too. I like that. It's a good market right now. However, remember that it's a glass colony, so this price will keep rising. So you should try to buy it as fast as possible. And we have a claim auction. Let's see, is anyone set up to build glass? No. Icewind could do it since he found the near silicon. And I think glass will soon become an important market.
Claim goes to Shell for very cheap price. It's a very nice deal.
7,000 is much too cheap, I think. People should bid that up a bit. Peasant is using his scientist found here to place reactors on the ice, which means he gets the water for free. This is a very strong play. And he basically had a choice between farms and reactors. And considering there's a dust storm, I think he made the correct choice, going into reactors.
I like this boost from Shell, boost on farm from Shell. And they're not selling it right now, selling food right now, which is also great because first, food price is rising, and second, it's going to stay there because the storm is coming and no one is going to produce enough farm to lower the price
Yeah,
in a food.
it would have been strong, but I think also just upgrading is strong too. And I think I like him upgrading instead.
Yep.
Let's see if
And
anyone
they
is
just
in a position to take advantage of the power here. I'm not sure anyone is in a wind turbine.
Peasant is in a geo, boosted geo. Icewind is in also in a geo.
Oh, I really like this boost because he also gets his steel mills.
When we see this boost like this, it's usually automatic response to attack with an EMP, but nobody punished Peasant
Yeah.
for boosting it, and nobody could punish Geotherm, so
Instead we see a
safe
nuke
play.
by Shell on Icewind's water, which is interesting to me. Icewind still has no iron income, so they are in a bit of a strange spot here. They seem to only be collecting water and aluminum right now.
Yeah, Icewind is going to have a hard time buying steel and buying glass. They have to produce life support resources, or they can get into glass though.
Yeah, glass is looking like a really good market right now.
Icewind has 2 claims and is going into double glass, which is a good choice.
Yeah, and we have an entertainment auction, or a tile auction for 40% entertainment. But
and 20% off-world.
oh, you're right.
That nice tile.
Yeah, although we have Goom Poppers in network viruses, so it's not super safe to use. But yeah, it's a nice dual tile. And a pleasure dome will be okay here. It won't be excellent, but it will make you some money. So I expect it to go for like 20, 24 maybe. And Peasant is getting into Patent Lab. I like that. When you found close by to a geothermal like this, the Patent Superconductor and geothermal borehole become very strong. And those are the 2 he's going for. I like that. And he won the tile for 20,000. So I quite favor him right now.
Now Peasant doesn't have to worry about power anymore.
The black market is online.
Yeah.
Right now, Shell is getting into triple glass. I don't think it's a good move to make right now because they have no silicon support. So the silicon price is going to rise very rapidly.
Yes, that's an issue. I think they did that when there was a dust storm, because they removed their farms. But farms are still really good when the dust storm ends. And yeah, okay, they're going into new farms now. But yeah, this will definitely become an issue unless someone sells down silicon for them. We'll see how that turns out.
That said, Shell's in sand next to 2 sand tiles, so if they want, they can use core sample and try to get a good silicon patch out of it.
Yeah. It's hard to see that play, but it's a very good play. I didn't see it myself. But it should definitely do that if he can see that play. Okay. So, Peasant hit Shell's farms with a mutiny. But unfortunately, Peasant himself isn't... Oh, okay, he's changing now. Usually when you hit someone's farms, you want to be in farms yourself, so you can take advantage of the discrepancy. But he's changing his reactors into farms. And he did get the geothermal borehole patent and also the nanotechnology. So what geothermal borehole does for him here is it converts every tile adjacent to this vent into a tile that gives you plus 0.2 power. But that also means that the tile doesn't consume any power. So placing an optimization center right next to that is a very strong play. Or it was mutinied by Blip, which I like. I will always favor a mutiny on an optimization center. It's a play I really like.
A scavenger HQ has been upgraded.
Wait, was it Blip?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's... Wait, I'm really confused. It is an optimization center, right? It looks so weird. Yeah, it is.
It's the art pack.
Yeah, right, it's a DLC. However, he doesn't seem to be using the fact that he mutinied. I would like to see him optimize something, maybe farms or Seems to be in electronics.
Glass is okay, but I would prefer to see maybe one on glass, one on food, and maybe one on chemical. Or
Yeah.
maybe 2 on food.
I'm not sure. Well, you could go food because water is so cheap. He hasn't claimed any water tiles though.
Sold.
Flesh Dome auction went 20k on peasant. I think it's a bargain.
Yeah, and it's the same setup as the other one. So if this goes late and the EMPs and the mutants become expensive, he could place 2 off-road tier and they would be very, very strong.
And Flesh Dome itself is a good tile to have. First, because power is $2,
Yeah,
and
you're right.
second, it's $140 per second is not a small amount for one tile to produce.
It is very good. Slightly less than his farms, but still very good. So teleportation is taken by Blip. And yeah, he will have easier time getting his aluminum in.
I don't think it's going to benefit them much.
Yeah, it's not. It can be important by denying Peasant. Like Peasant still has no real access to silicon. He has some access to carbon. I think Blip, if these electronics factories were glass kilns instead, it would be a lot better. Because they also use the silicon that he has, and they produce twice as much. You can't see that there, but they do produce twice as much in base output. And since the price is similar, you could basically sell your glass and buy the electronics instead of just making the electronics. I would like to see that.
I think Icewind never getting into steel is giving Peasant and Ice Blip some advantage. Especially more for Peasant, because Peasant has more steel production.
Yeah. Yeah, we can see that steel is one of the best markets right now. Peasant styles are making $170. All of Peasant styles are actually very profitable. And he has a lot of advanced buildings too. So yeah, I really like their position here. Low Shell is the first and only one in HQ5, so they have a lot of claims.
Oh, Peasant is going to have a perfect pleasure dome surrounded by 6 colonies.
Nice. And he also took the virtual reality patent. And the music right now on my stream is pretty funny because all 3 of them are playing. It's a bit strange though, because he won the 2 auctions. So I'm surprised he built the 3rd one manually, but yeah, it's now a perfect one, so it's very strong. I think actually, doesn't this mean he plans to go off-road here? We might see that this game.
It's 30% off-road tile now, the other pleasure dome.
Yeah. And there was an auction for Cold Fusion, which Blip wants, which he won, and he is now in water, so... Choosing to go for the ice instead of water tiles, I guess he's scared of nukes. And yeah, I don't mind at all, it's a good play. And this is something you see a lot. Blip hits Icewind. But to me, Icewind is not in the lead, so it's a bit strange to hit them. I think the reason is their bases are so close together. You usually hit what you see, and when you look at your own base, you see their base, and therefore you get hit. So being in the corner as Peasant is really helping him here, I think.
In off-road, people don't like their neighbors.
Yeah, it's not neighborly. And Peasant has optimized his reactors, so they're now making a lot of money. I really like this. And he's optimized steel too. I like his choices.
A boost from Shell, I think it's a dangerous boost to have because they're now lacking fuel. So other people are going to gain some money from it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess Peasant
And
is the
if
one
Shell-
who makes the most fuel, so it helps him.
The engineers have advanced our production. Our methods continue to improve.
And Peasant did score the carbon scrubbing patent. So the only thing that Peasant can't do right now are the silicon markets. But silicon is also very cheap, and he has bought up a stockpile of silicon. So peasant can basically do whatever he wants. I really like that. And he is building another optimization center.
The optimization center is online. Let the planned obsolescence begin.
So the glass market has crashed out a bit. Even though it is the colony, if everyone produces glass, it will eventually die down.
Let them get this. Build it now
And I think right now the best building to be in is a reactor. And we have a slant drilling auction, which is very nice to have on a nuke map. We'll see how expensive this gets.
30, 40.
sold.
I think 40 is okay for Icewind.
Yeah. You get some benefit out of it, you get some more water. Yeah, it's not a lot, but it's something. Yeah, also more silicon. So, let's see. Who do you favor right now? Do you also think Peasant is in the lead?
Yeah, Peasant is definitely in lead. Peasant has been optimizing a lot of markets. Now going to have 3 perfect, which
Yeah.
all make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I'm surprised that fuel is still this expensive. We can see now these reactors making over $500 a second. These are very good tiles. And he has currently bought stock in every single player, which I think should mean that every single player should look here, hold the X key, see these prices, see that these make a lot of money, buy an EMP and hit this. Because you have to slow this person down. He's running away with the game right now.
I want to point out Shell's claim distributions. They have 3 claims on silicon, 2 on aluminum, and 5 on water. I think that's going to reduce their money-making potential a lot.
Yeah.
As a scavenger,
in particular,
they
in particular, the silicon is way too much.
They cannot afford going into double silicon and double metal, double aluminum mine.
Yeah. It looks like they did use core samples, but I think it looks to me, at least, I'm not sure if it's true, that they started on this left tile where there's not sand, and he got water, and because of that he got the water and silicon one here. I would have preferred to just see it on the sand, where you have usually a 90% chance of silicon. Because if these 3 claims were adjacent to his base instead of spread out, he could gather silicon he needs, and then when it's cheap like now, he could transition them. However, with these remote claims, transitioning is much harder.
Yeah. Peasant is the first to offer market. Now, offer price has not been great so far, but it has been rising, and it's I think affordable and will make the profits in 2 or 3 launches or so.
Yeah. That's one advantage of optimizing steel. He has the perfect steel. It means he can pay the bulk of that off-world price. And remember that he had those very specialized optimizations. That means that if these particular prices crash, he won't make any money. And I really like him going off-world then, because he will always have at least one avenue of making money. And actually on-world prices all across the board are really low right now. And remember, the Peasant also has these really nice pleasure domes. So he has, with this off-world market, 2 ways of making money that is not dependent on the on-world prices. And he currently has the 100% on Shell if he chooses to finish the buy.
The black market is online.
I think things would have could have gone differently if Icewind identified the possibility of using core samples and getting iron out of it, and did not buy too much steel from the market. it would have cut down peasants' early profits, and things might have changed.
Yeah. You can also, if try to be quick. I didn't pay attention to the found, but you have to realize that if you found far away from a resource you want, you should claim that very soon, because there is always a possibility that someone will take the opportunity from you, like Blip did.
I'm looking at the production and sales tab. Icewind has bought 150k, 3k of steel so far, and sold 50k. Peasant has sold 257k of steel and bought on 100k. So definitely 150k of steel money in his pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true. So his shortcomings are helping the strongest player, which is a big issue here. And of course, Peasant bought Shell. Shell had a lot of depth too, and after the midnight tick, he was in D +2. Peasant got a really cheap buy, he got a nice subsidiary, and got 2 extra claims. And I don't think anyone can stop Peasant right now. So I think the issue with the way Blip started this game is these 2 electronics factories. As I pointed out, I actually didn't show you. I'm not sure how to show you, but I promise you that a glass kiln produces twice as much glass as an electronics factory produces electronics. And these prices were similar. In that case, you should definitely go for the glass, sell the glass, and buy the electronics. It will be twice as efficient, basically.
Our methods continue to improve.
And Peasant finished the buy on Blip too. And remember that this is a tournament, and the tiebreakers are decided on time. So I would like to see Peasant optimize here and sell down his stock to buy Icewind sooner, so he will get a better tiebreaker time.
The black market is open for business.
Okay, the onward is quite dead. Only electronics makes enough money. Now carbon and things spiked because the sub went into off-road. But it is too late to change the direction of the game.
Yeah.
Now we are just waiting for Peasant to finish his buy.
The prices are pretty much dead immediately after him placing it. So one curious thing about Icewind is his decision to go for these elemental quarries that are far away when he founded adjacent to Silicon. In the same situation as Shell had with Silicon. If you just claim the adjacent Silicon, you can transition it when the market is weak, and right now it's very weak. And he has 2,000 of it stockpiled, but he's still bringing in more. And yeah, this could be avoided if he used these silicons instead.
Yeah, I do like the single high from Icewind, but the double is too much, too excessive.
Yeah.
What a payout.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't mind a single high either. We also see that... Wait, oh, never mind. Yeah, nice use of Peasant to mutiny the... Off-road there. Actually, he did a mutiny goon. This is a very evil play. Because usually when somebody takes your off-world, you expect to be able to mutiny it back. But Peasant actually played a goon there too, which will punish him. And Peasant takes the win. Well paid to Peasant.
Congratulations to our new sub, Peasant.
Yeah. Yeah, we did kind of expect this. Peasant is a bit more experienced than these other players. And Paulina has already put in the winning time. I don't have to do anything here, I just have to talk. I like it. We can check how much those pleasure domes earn for him. 451! Wow, that's a lot more than I thought. That's really good money, considering especially that the on-world prices were so low. So in comparison, this is very, very nice money to have.
Yeah, entertainment market is one of the markets people kind of forget about the existence of it. But if everyone else forget about it, the one who notices it can earn this a lot of amount of money. It's even greater than offered profits.
Yeah. Yeah, even with the low on-world prices, the off-world prices weren't actually great this game, which also contributes. We see he did the correct optimizations basically. The ones he had were the markets which were strong the longest. He got a lot of patents that he wanted. Nobody really challenged him for it. We see how did the power situation work out. Didn't you see the price? Okay, it stayed low. Basically, after he got superconductor geo borehole, the price never rose again. And maybe could have stopped auto selling or something like that, but at least he himself doesn't have to worry about power when he gets those patents with that fun. It's a really nice situation to be in. Yeah, he produced the most power out of everyone. You can see on the black market that Icewind was the one who went most aggressive on peasant. So I like that they are able to identify who's dangerous. But we needed a bit more, I think, and in particular we need EMPs. When peasant had is very profitable optimized buildings, and EMPing there is worth a lot for the other players.
Yeah, peasants' buildings are bunched up together in two groups, and EMPs is at 30k. It might not be okay to use right now, Onward being dead, but it would have been very effective when things were very high.
Yeah, I think they were 4.5k when I pointed them out. And yeah, of course you have to, when a player is snowballing, you have to stop it pretty early. So you should definitely take a habit of checking who among your opponents are doing well. Try to throw some black market at them. And Peasant is in chat. He says he felt bad about that. Listen to this now. Now we have 4 pleasure downs. There's a lot of great music at the colony. And yeah, this is what we call a perfect pleasure dome because every adjacent hex is an habitat. So it's 60% extra money. Actually, I wonder, shouldn't he just shut the other 2 off? Or how does the math work on that? When he had only the 3, maybe it would have been worth it to shut 2 of these down. I'm not sure. We'll have to ask a mathematician.
Well, I do think that the pleasure dome with 3 garage modules next to it could have been off-road.
Yeah, this one. For sure. Yeah, he did also have plenty of spare claims around his own base. Alright, so congrats to Peasant. Let's see if we can get a 4th game going.